Oh, yes! The first living Medal of Honor recipient. Delta Force. Isn't the Medal of Honor, I think, one of the best medals, like top tier medals you can get in the US? I'm pretty sure it is. So this will be actually insane to find out how this person got it. Now, if you do enjoy this video and you find it entertaining, be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new here. It really does help me out, and well, I appreciate everyone that shows the support. Let's get right into this video. Link to it will be down below in the description as well if you want to check it out. Let's go.
In the early morning of October 22nd, 2015, Thomas Paine and his team stormed a prison in Iraq. Their target were two multi-story buildings holding over 70 hostages facing execution.
Ooh.
Just as the special forces were engaged in a fierce firefight with the insurgents, the building suddenly caught fire while the hostages were still trapped
Wait, is this
inside.
real footage right here?
Time to free all the civilians unharmed was running out at a rapid pace. For what happened next, Thomas Paine would receive the Medal of Honor, America's highest military award. Paine was a motivated and very experienced Delta Force soldier with more than 13 years of service.
Ooh.
In 2012, he had even won the Best Ranger competition, an annual 62-hour selection in which only 2 soldiers emerge victorious.
What?
In the process, Paine didn't let his severe shrapnel injury, suffered 2 years earlier during a deployment to Afghanistan, slow him down in any way. He deployed to every trouble spot in the world a total of 17 times to demonstrate his skills on special operations.
Whoa.
Paine's numerous trainings included a sniper course, as well as the jump master and tandem master qualifications, which means that he can carry another person who has never skydived before when freefalling.
Really? Shit.
On his current deployment, Paine was in northern Iraq as a deputy team leader to assist in the fight against the so-called Islamic State, which had captured large parts of the country. On October 22nd, 2015, Paine's team was tasked with freeing more than 70 Iraqi hostages held in the northern city of Al-Havija.
Damn, so this guy's a fucking badass. Jesus Christ. 62 hours and he got some achievement. That's pretty crazy. 62 hours. And being deployed that much. Damn. Now, with that tandem parachute, that's surely like if you're an instructor, right? Not like if you're actually going to do a mission and there's just a random guy behind you who has never jumped, that they can just jump on you and follow you and go down with you. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, right? It's not like if there's an operation and there's someone who's never done a jump with the parachute or whatever, that they can jump on him and hang on his back. Surely not, right? I don't know if it would ever be like that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just if you're an instructor, then you can teach people by having them sit on your back and that type of stuff, right?
The Special Forces had spent an entire week planning the mission and preparing for any contingencies they might face. When new reconnaissance images suddenly showed freshly dug graves outside the prison, it became clear that the hostages could soon be executed.
Oh.
As a result, the task force was given the green light for the mission, and the operators, along with their Kurdish partner forces, boarded several helicopters, which took off toward the IS stronghold shortly thereafter.
Right.
The Kurdish forces consisted of a unit simply known as the Counterterrorism Group, or CTG, which is part of the Peshmerga and has worked with Americans in the past.
Okay.
Just before dawn, the Chinooks touched ground again, and the Special Forces rushed through the stirred-up sand toward the prison. After the Kurdish counterterrorism unit unsuccessfully attempted to blast an entrance through the prison wall, the Americans used ladders to climb over. While climbing over the prison wall, however, they came under heavy fire, seriously wounding Delta Force soldier Joshua Wheeler.
Okay.
Once on the other side, dust and smoke made it nearly impossible to see. Relying on his training, Paine led his team to the first building, where his medic left to help tend to the wounded man. The Kurdish troops were initially reluctant to move forward, but Paine and his comrades motivated them to advance despite the adverse conditions.
I mean, I'm sorry for stopping too much, but I mean, if you've got hostages, right, to rescue and their lives are on the line, and they've already dug some graves for them, I don't know if you can just sit around and wait, right? You're gonna have to push through whatever the defense they've got, and that's maybe why he got the Medal of Honor or something, because he was the one that encouraged the attack and maybe save them all. I'm not sure if that is where it's heading, but yeah, that's what I would assume. Like, dude, obviously the Kurdish guys maybe are reluctant because they might not have the same amount of training and they don't have the equipment to maybe try and attack this and go through with it. But, you know, it's Delta Force we're talking about here. These lot are equipped with training, gear, loads of stuff that would make them able to, you know, fight back and get in there and save them. But yeah, I don't think you could really, you know, sit around and wait it out when they've got hostages. And that's your main goal, is to save the hostages. I'm pretty sure time is a big factor when it comes down to these operations and missions.
They successfully secured the building where the first 38 hostages were being held,
Holy
encountering
shit.
only light resistance. As they broke the lock on the prison door, Payne
that's
could
good.
see the expression on the hostages' faces change from fear and despair to excitement and joy. With the tension gone, some of them even began to cry. But for the Special Forces, the job was far from over. While the team was escorting the civilians outside, Payne received an alarming radio message. His comrades at the second building were making less progress and needed urgent help.
Oh shit.
The enemy had barricaded themselves and was resisting against the Special Forces with everything from grenades to suicide bombers.
Oh no,
Payne
that
could
is
hear the
not
noise
good.
of the battle all the way to his position and knew he had to act quickly. Saying, "Let's get in the fight," he led his men through the enemy
What a
gunfire to the
fucking
hot
G.
zone. Arriving at the second building, he and a teammate climbed to the roof to engage the entrenched insurgents from above. From here, the team leader hoped to break the enemy's resistance, allowing the second team to advance. As the soldiers fought from the roof, they continued to take fire, not only from the enemy below, but also from the area around the prison. On top of that, the numerous explosions had set the building on fire. The flames spread to the upper floor, and some rooms were already filled with thick, dark smoke, causing the trapped hostages to run out of time.
That is a
The risk
situation.
of dying from smoke inhalation, or even being burned alive, increased with each passing minute.
That is not good, man.
After Kurdish and American Special Forces made several attempts to establish fire superiority and storm the building, they were finally able to push forward, suffering heavy casualties.
Oh shit.
Payne climbed down to the first floor again, glanced at the prisoner's door, and realized it was secured with the same thick lock as in the first building. The battle for the hostages was still raging, and Payne was aware that to rescue them, he would have to expose himself not only to enemy fire, but also to the toxic smoke that filled the hallway. He had only a few seconds left to make a decision about the fate of the prisoners. He then grabbed a bolt cutter and, despite the enemy gunfire, ran to the steel door where he cut the first lock.
Oh, really?
The hot air and smoke were unbearable, so he had to go back immediately to take a breath. But there was a second lock blocking the door, and the hostages were still trapped. The Kurdish forces tried to open the lock themselves, but to no avail, so Payne again rushed into the inferno and broke the second lock as well.
What a brave
The
guy,
combined
man.
forces then cleared each room to eliminate possible threats and free all the hostages. At that moment, a second message came in over the radio. The building was too badly damaged and was already beginning to collapse. All forces were ordered to evacuate, but Payne knew there were still hostages
Oh
inside.
my god, nah.
Therefore, he voluntarily went back into the building and ran through the hallway despite the raging fire, as well as the unclear enemy situation.
Holy shit.
Many of the hostages were confused and did not know what was going on, but Payne got them all outside.
Oh
He
my
then returned to the
days.
building 2 more times to make sure that no one had been left behind.
What?
Only when all people were safe, he left the hostile place and reported to his team leader that they were now ready to evacuate.
Brother, that is
When the
crazy.
special forces left the building complex, there were still enemies nearby, so they took the hostages in their midst and walked like a human shield to the right and left of them. However, the civilians were so traumatized that they would reflexively stop every time the soldiers opened fire, which delayed the evacuation. Therefore, the special forces decided to cease their own covering fire, exposing themselves to greater danger so that the hostages would no longer be frightened and keep running.
Alright.
After the group finally arrived at the helicopters, Payne faced another problem.
Oh.
Because they had freed so many hostages, it was unclear whether the helicopters could handle all the extra load.
What?
After some quick calculations,
stayed back
they
or
were
what?
able to get everyone on board, but it was so cramped that the soldiers had to spend the entire flight standing up. In total,
Wow.
75 hostages were freed, 20 IS fighters were killed, and 5 others were detained. The hostages, Payne's strike team, and Kurdish partner forces returned to Erbil without incident. They had participated in one of the largest hostage rescues in Special Forces history. For his actions that day,
Jeez.
Payne was awarded the Medal of Honor in September 2020.
What a
He is the
beast,
first
man.
Delta Force member to receive this special award, still being alive. The first 2 medals have been awarded posthumously to the snipers Shugart and Gordon for their actions at the Battle of Mogadishu in 1993. Unfortunately, Joshua Wheeler, who had been hit during the assault on the prison, succumbed to his wounds.
What?
He had led his team relentlessly against the enemy
Damn,
forces
that is
to support
unfortunate.
his comrades from the other squad. When Wheeler was hit, he was at the head of his men. For the courageous action regardless of enemy fire, he was posthumously awarded the Silver Star. A brotherhood that no one else could ever understand.
What a brave soldier, man. After they've said like, oh, we need to get out of there. We've saved already half of them. Let's just get out of there, recuperate. This building's about to collapse. And he still just sticks with it. Runs back in, gets the remaining hostages. Yeah, what a brave guy, man. Because these guys, man, they're always a different breed. They're always the bravest of the brave and like the toughest of the tough, you know? Yeah, that's well deserved of the Medal of Honor, that's for sure. This is the type of people that are like the real like heroes of the modern time, of this day and age. These type of people that have that mindset and can go through with something like that, they are different. They are what's good with humanity. I mean, he could have been like maybe a psychopath or something, and he just wanted to get in there and just shoot people or something. But I doubt it was like that. I'm pretty sure he just needed to save people. He just wanted to help out. I really do enjoy these videos where it dives into different missions of the special forces, because it's always been interesting, you know, what they're up to, what they do, and what, you know, the job entails of being a special force, like what you have to handle. But yeah, for it to be the biggest, you know, hostage operation or mission, I think he said that in the end, and for him to do something like that when there's so many hostages, absolute badass, the real deal. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed that. I hope you did as well, as always. If you did enjoy this video though, be sure to press that like button as well. And I will have to see you in my next up and coming video coming out pretty soon, I would assume. What a beast, man. Inspiring, that's all I can say.